It's been a tradition for years at the Forest History Center in Grand Rapids. Christmas in the logging camp is a way to take guests back in time to the 1900s era, where the demand for white pines made jobs for the men in northern Minnesota during the wintertime. Our Chelsea Brown takes us back in our Northwoods adventure.
Here at the Forest History Center's Christmas in the Logging Camp is an interpretation of the early years as immigration increased and the demand for lumber in expanding populations was insatiable.
And I'm the best cook in the Northland. Men come to this camp when they know I'm cooking. I have a following.
They called it from can see to can't see, that the lumberjacks would work throughout the day to produce the amount of lumber needed for their winter job.
We are a logging company that is contracted to a lumber company. The lumber company being the men with the sawmills. And our contract states that we are to cut 6 million board feet of white pine before the ice goes out in the spring.
But here on this medium-sized logging camp hosting about 70 lumberjacks was an internal support system to help the men get the job done.
When the men come in, we make 500 sweat pads every morning. We have beans with every meal. We have potatoes with every meal.
Gentlemen like myself who take care of the business of the camp, the cook has to feed all those men, the blacksmith and the carpenter keep repairs in order, the bull cook is cutting firewood to keep all these buildings warm all winter. It's quite a big job.
And the significance of these logging camps is to show how self-sufficient they were while still producing mass logging amounts to be shipped to bigger cities.
A very important job that we are not only clearing land but providing lumber for the progress, the development of northern Minnesota.
And if they could gather their amount in less than 120 days, the profit would increase, but that's if the weather held up.
We have a foot of ice that we're carrying the logs on. And if that goes down and that breaks up, which January thaw, sometimes it happens. If that were to happen, that would interfere with our contract. If we didn't meet contract, we'd be working for beans.
In Grand Rapids for this week's Northwoods Adventure, Chelsea Brown, Lakeland News.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.